tell you, I'm in the thing, and they say, well, I think the clerk summed it up pretty well, and I'm like, no, that's not it.
We're going to get started. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. It's October 5th, 2023. And on my far left, Madam Clerk, Cindy Beck. And on my far right, soon to be a judge, Jim Crowler, County Attorney. Congratulations on that appointment. On my immediate left is Commissioner Aaron Mays, who represents District 3, and on my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. I'm Bill Rippon, and I represent District 1. Madam Clerk, what is first?
First item is item 1, proclamations, presentations. A, celebrating National 4-H Week. Shawnee County 4-H Queen, Caitlin Jackson.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having us today. We are here today in celebration of National 4-H Week, which is the kickoff week to the new 4-H year. Our program year starts on October 1, so if you've got any kiddos that are interested in 4-H, enrollment is open, and we are happy to talk to those families. Last year in Shawnee County, we had 250 youth enrolled in the program, and we reached well over 2,000 youth with the other programs we do, including our school enrichment and our programs with community partners like Boys and Girls Club and some of the local libraries here in the county. With me today, I have our County Fair Queen, Caitlin Jackson. She'd like to tell you a little bit about her role as the Queen and some of her experiences in 4-H.
As she said, my name is Caitlin Jackson, and I am this year's 4-H Queen. My role is to encourage kids to join 4-H and to spread what we do. I started 4-H probably 3rd grade, and I thought, oh, this is just for farm people. It's just for farmers. And I was quickly proven wrong when I found arts and crafts and photography and home environment. And now as I continue in my career in 4-H, I found geology, which I see as a future career potential. You see, 4-H is not just for those farmers. We have the ag programs, but we also have business programs. We have things for kids that want to go into any kind of science, be it rocketry, geology, or whatever. We have opportunities for every kid, but the main opportunity that we give is leadership. I've seen kids go from kids that don't want to speak to anybody but their parents at the meetings to leading a meeting. And I was one of those kids. I've learned you can speak in front of people and it's fine. And it's a great place to be comfortable with, and it's a great thing for everybody from any part of the community and any part of our county. So this year, my goal as the 4-H Queen is to let people know that. It's to give people the confidence that they can join 4-H and that it's a great way to get started in whatever path you want to go in life. So I ask for your support and everybody else's support and help me spread the word of how great 4-H can be for every kid in our county.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Caitlin.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Do we need
a picture?
Is this a photo op? Yeah, I think so.
Thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you.
What a great program 4-H is for kids. It's really good. All right, Madam Clerk, what is next?
Next item is item 3, consent agenda.
I will move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, this morning we have vouchers that total $3,530,639.23. The highlights out of that voucher report, under payroll, $1,241,302.94. Under the health insurance was $412,430.50. And then holding accounts with the state of Kansas was $206,221.73. Under the information technology, CDW government incorporated totaling $78,210 is for the purchase of 90 HP Elite computers. Under the Parks Administration, we have Civics Plus LLC for $50,000 for the Civics Plus annual renewal. And then finally, under Building and Maintenance, MCON Incorporated for $61,745 are for repairs to the north side of Westlake Dam in Gage Park. I don't have any questions regarding the vouchers and would move for their approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move that we approve the correction orders.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item B, audit finance. Number 1, consider approval of contract C306-2023 with Quistica for budget software and contract 307-2023 with eCivis for grant software. This is pricing through the NASPRO cooperative with a negotiated reduction for subscribing to both of the products. The first year cost is $165,199.40, which will be funded with the LATCF funds, LATCF fund grant and interest earned on the COVID bank account. The second year cost of $93,618.68 will be funded with interest earned on the COVID-19 bank account.
Sorry, I was so wordy about that, but I am really excited about these two products that I'm bringing to you. The first that I want to talk about is the Quistica budget software. I think this is will be a tremendous asset to the county. I think it will really help the departments in preparing their budgets. It will. We will use it for the operating budgets for 2025, and we will also be able to use their position, salary, and benefit integration. So we will actually pull the information from our accounting system into that budget software. It will really cut down on the time and work that each of the departments has to do to budget their wage costs. There's also workflows and approval levels that will work when we're working through the budget process all the way from the beginning clear to through the end and your approval on that. It will have reporting and auditing items, functions that we can use. It'll have performance management that we can use down the road. It'll also allow us to do what-if scenarios for bargaining unit negotiations. I think that will be very helpful to the HR department. And then they have a great online budget public transparency piece. Now that I don't expect that we will be able to have up and running in entirety until 2026 budget, but this is the first start of that. I think the first year we will just work on the budget process, but then that second year, then we'll be able to get this transparent online budget book in place, which I think the public will really love. So that is a little bit about the Quistica budget piece. The second piece is the eCivis grant software. This is a search engine to search for grants. But the great thing, several great things about this, but first of all, the state of Kansas grants will all be included in this database. And this is the only software that the state of Kansas is going to be feeding that into. They are in the process of doing that now, and that is supposed to be completed within the next couple weeks that they will have those in there. Then you can set up separate criteria. So each department can go in and set up the criteria that they would look for in grants. Say, Public Works is talking about transportation and roads and bridges and things like that. So you set that up. Then the system, when a grant is comes on board, within that criteria, it will automatically send that department an email telling them about that grant and that grant is now available. Then the department can go in and look at a summary of the grant. So, sometimes these grant documents may be 200 pages long. This will provide a summary that then the department can look at this and quickly and easily determine if this is a grant that might apply to them or not. Then it also will have sample applications that had been awarded in the past, so really help them get a start on what they need to do to write the application. As you all know, we have a firm that we can use to help us write the grant, but this will help you determine, do I need someone to help me write the grant, or is this simple enough that we can do it internally? Then the last piece that I think will also be very helpful is grant administration. We will be able to administer all of the grants through this software, not only to make sure we're complying in every way we need to, but also the reporting that we have to do on these grants, and then the reporting for our financial audit and our what we call the CFA. It's the single audit that we're required to do for our federal fundings. We looked at both of these products independently. We were looking for a budget software. We did 3 different demos on the software, and then we were also looking for grant software. So we looked at them independently, but we'd come up with these 2 solutions that we were going to recommend that we go with, and they happened to both be owned by the same company. So we started out with a cooperative pricing, NASPO, which is the National Association of State Procurement Officials. We started out with their pricing, and then we went to this parent company, UNA. Yes, thank you. UNA, and said, okay, what if we buy both of these, or subscribe to both of these? It's an annual subscription. Can we get a discount for that? And they did come back with a discount for us. So that's why these 2 items are both listed as one agenda item, because this pricing is if we subscribe to both of them, when it was an additional discount. So for the funding for this, I have a chart there that shows you the different, there's implementation cost, which is a one-time cost to get it set up, then the first year and the second year subscriptions here. The county received grant money for LATCF, which stands for Local Assistance and Tribal Consistency Fund. We received $100,000 on that. That was part of ARPA, the American Rescue Plan Act. I think this would be an excellent use for that. This will benefit all of the departments in the county. So my recommendation is that we would use that $100,000 towards these 2 softwares, and then the remaining amount for the first 2 years would come from the interest that we have earned on the COVID-19 bank account. That is not part of the grant money that we received for ARPA SL FRF. It's just the interest we have earned on that account. We have it in a separate bank account. There are no restrictions on that money, so I think this, again, since it's going to benefit all of the departments, I think this would be an excellent use for some of that interest. This has been reviewed by the IT department. They were, in fact, we even talked to a county that is on Finance Enterprise that is also using this budget software to make sure that there is not any, that the integration is working. And it sounds like they had nothing but good things. They said the implementation went great. Whenever you hear an implementation went great, that's kind of something in itself. So, but yes, so we talked with them. The counselor's office has also reviewed it and approved it for form and legality. So I would ask you to consider approving this.
Any questions?
Not really a question so much as a comment, but when I went to the National Association of Counties conference, one thing that became clear as I was walking through the trade show, looking at all the vendor booths, was that we are quite a bit behind in our budgeting software. That, you know, the modernization is happening everywhere, and we were still relatively antiquated in the way that we were doing things. And so I came back and I had flyers from every budgeting software that I could find there, and I know that Jennifer and Betty went through and interviewed several, and some of them worked and some of them didn't with what we're doing, and I think this is going to be a big step in the right direction for us. The ease in which we'll be able to do our budget is going to be, I mean, it's so much better. It'll streamline the process a lot from what we've been doing. And I think it's going to be easier for all of our departments. And then there's the grant software, which everybody knows I've been saying we need a grant writer or something to help out with that. And so I think this is something that, you know, if we get one large grant, it pays for itself immediately. And I know that so many people in our departments are not grant writers, you know. Brian is a correctional employee. He does corrections. He's not a grant writer. He's not a budget expert, you know. And so I think this is something that's going to make it a lot easier for you guys to find grants. And then it has, I love the fact that it has examples of grants that have been awarded already and those applications, so you can almost cut and paste a lot of the things that are on the grant applications. So it's going to make it a whole lot easier for you guys to apply for those and get awarded. And then there's also an administration of the grants component.
Yes.
So, you know, all of the follow-up paperwork and stuff, it'll help you with that as well. So I think this is fantastic. I'm real excited about it.
Yeah. I used to write grants, and I'm not volunteering to write any in the future. But to be able to have examples of successful grants would have been huge, because a lot of those grants, I was just starting out from scratch. So that will help whoever writes the grants, and just finding them can be time-consuming and a lot of dead ends, looking for things like that, finding things that suit what you're going to do. And so anyway, I think it'd be good. And like Commissioner May said, one big grant can pay for all this. So.
Said it all.
All right, well, I will move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item B2, consider approval of contract C308-2023 with Forbes LLP for audit services. These services are paid from the county's general expenses budget.
And this is just the engagement letter for our annual financial audit and our single audit for December 31st, 2023. The fee for that will be $101,500. That is for the financial statement audit and the single audit. The single audit is what I was talking about earlier that we are required to have for our federal awards. It's a separate report and a separate audit process to make sure that all those federal awards have been accounted for in the appropriate manner. This will be our second year with Forbes and the fees are in line with what we had from the RFP that we did last year. So be happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Thank you.
Item C, Emergency Management, number 1, approval of contracts C311-2023 in the amount of $140,922 between Shawnee County and Sending In Company for the EOC bathroom project to be funded by the previous approved $50,000 ARPA SLFRF, with the remainder to be paid through capital outlay funding.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dusty Nichols, Emergency Management, and Cindy said it all, except for, yay, we're here. We can get our bathrooms fixed. So that's where we're at, next step. So I can stand for any questions.
I think they're overdue.
Yeah.
We agree.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I think
Yep.
I got here in 2019, and we've been talking about it since then, so it's.
Well, to be fair, even before you got here, it was like, oh,
I'm sure it was before I got here, but
yeah.
that's still, 4 years, so I would move for approval.
Second. Motion's been made by Commissioner May, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
thank you. And thanks to Betty and her team for helping us through this contractor situation, so appreciate it.
All right. Madam Clerk, next item.
Item D, Information Technology. Number 1, approval is requested to award the bid for RFP number 036-23 and negotiate a contract with GovBuild LLC for implementation and support for 1 year for community development software at a cost of $101,486.55 for implementation and $38,235.65 for the annual subscription to be used for permitting, licensing, and code enforcement for Planning Department, Public Works Department, Health Department, and Weed Department.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mark Price, Information Technology. This is a RFP that we came to you guys in August to get an approval for, or to get approval to put on the street. After we put it out, we had, 9 different vendors respond to it. Of that list of 9, we narrowed it down to 5 that we did actually in-person demos. After doing the in-person demos, the committee, which we really relied on the departments who were using it, which was the Planning Department, Public Works, and Health would be the main users of this software. They kind of unanimously agreed that GovBuild was the best choice to meet our needs. So at this time, we're just asking to award the bid to GovBuild and then start a negotiation to get a contract.
Questions?
Nope, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner May, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Next.
Item E, Public Works. Number 1, consider approval of an agreement, contract C309-2023 with Shawnee Mission Ford for the 2024 purchase of an F410 or F450 cab and chassis on a state of Kansas contract, and an agreement, contract C310-2023 with American Equipment Company for the 2024 outfitting of the cab and chassis with service equipment using pricing from a City of Kansas City, Missouri contract. The total will be $123,424, 100% of which will be paid by using Public Works Special Machinery Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. We'd like to get a head start on our 2024 equipment purchases. This would be the second that I've come before you recently. It's for a sign truck, and there's 2 parts to this purchasing process. Number 1, we have to buy a cab and chassis, and we would like to buy that from Shawnee Mission Ford, Shawnee Mission, Kansas, using a state of Kansas contract. That's all good. From there, we'd like the cab and chassis to go to American Equipment Company. They're out of Kansas City, and they would put the service body and hydraulic equipment on the cab and chassis to basically turn it into a sign truck. The problem here is that we would like to do this outside of our purchasing policy. Just to be clear, the cab and chassis would be purchased via the purchasing policy within the requirements of the purchasing policy. The outfitting of the cab and chassis would be bought outside of the purchasing policy. The reason we want to do this is because we feel it gives us the best chance for delivery in 2024. As you've heard repeatedly, there are shortages of certain electronic parts. It has delayed delivery of equipment. Working between Shawnee Mission Ford and American Equipment Company, we believe we get the best chance of delivery in 2024 at a fair price. These 2 companies we've worked with before. We've had great service from them. We think highly of them. And with that, I look forward to your questions.
Questions?
No questions.
Just acknowledge that this is a way, outside of the purchasing policy. I don't want this to be a signal to department heads that we're always going to waive purchasing policy, but this is an exceptional case where it's a very specific item, and on this item, I would move for approval.
I'll second.
Madam Clerk?
Could I request that you make the approval that the portion that's outside the purchasing resolution, just as part of your,
I will,
you could do that?
I will amend the motion
Thank
to
you.
acknowledge the request for approval of the item and acknowledge that it is outside of the
Part of it,
purchase-
okay.
Shawnee County purchasing policy. Would that meet with your request?
That's great.
Thank you. That's so much my motion.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
I do want to add that I do not take this lightly. I mean, this might be the first time Public Works, under my supervision, has asked to purchase something outside of the purchasing policy. So thank you very much.
If I might just make one comment, because we did have conversations about this item. I just wanted to point out that that pricing is based on a contract with the Kansas City, Missouri, the city of Kansas City, Missouri. So they had already done their vetting for this. It is not a Kansas city, so, and it's not a state of Kansas contract. So we did feel like there had been some price vetting already done on this. It's not just completely outside. So I think the intent of the purchasing policy is still followed. So, just to add
How much
that.
of this total price was just that part of it, you recall?
70 for the service body and 53 for the cabin chassis,
Okay, all right,
approximately.
all right.
Thank you.
Did we?
Yeah, we voted
did,
on
you
it.
did.
We're good? All right. I lost track.
Make us all confused,
Just
sorry.
follow up, bonus material there.
It was, yeah, all right. Next item.
Item F, County Councilor, number 1, consider approval of Resolution 2023-68, appointing the interim Shawnee County Councilor.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Kraut, Shawnee County Councilor. The resolution under consideration for you would establish Jonathan C. Brazon as the interim county councilor beginning October 7th until this body fills that position permanently, and would provide for his additional compensation. And I'll be happy to try to answer any other questions you might have.
I have none. I would move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item 5, public
Congratulations,
comment.
Jonathan. Do we want to do a photo? No.
Can we do a photo, Donna, please? All right, public comment? Oh,
I'm Brittany Stidham or Laughlin with Keep America Beautiful, and I just wanted to come today to let you guys know about our trash cleanup coming. It's called the Spooky Clean Cemetery Trash Sweep, October 13th, which is a Friday, from 12 to 1, and it's going to be at the Topeka Cemetery. And this event is just to promote a little more of smaller trash cleanups throughout the year. So this is, like I said, during a school day, during a work day, but we're hoping some people will show up. But next time, maybe in the spring before our Get Down and Get Dirty, I have been talking with the Boys and Girls Club Teen Center, so we have some volunteers there that we might utilize as well to do separate trash cleanups. So just wanted to let you guys know. We're excited and look forward if you guys can make it.
All right.
That'd be awesome.
thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Brittany. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, I have no one signed up. Next item.
Item 6, administrative communications.
Good morning, Commissioners. Teresa Fisher, Director with the Health Department. I have 2 things to announce today. The first is Heartland Healthy Neighborhoods will be hosting their annual community baby shower for safe sleep. We're really excited. We're going to host this at the Health Department, our J.P. Lewis location. So this will take place next Saturday, October 14th, from 10 a.m. until noon. We are asking those interested to register by tomorrow. So the QR code is there. It's found on all of our social media channels. or you can call 251-5647 for more information to get enrolled for the shower. It's open to all pregnant women and their support persons here in Shawnee County. There'll be valuable education provided as well as community resources, and it'll be in the true community baby shower with a good party and lots of fun things going on at it. So we encourage everyone to come to that. And then I also want to make note that we now have all of our flu vaccine and COVID vaccine available for all of those that are eligible. So that means for anyone 6 months and older here in our community, we have a variety of shots that are available for you. For those who are uninsured, we do have some options also. So we're encouraging those with questions about specific brands, or if you are uninsured, what we might have available, to call 251-5700. The website vaccines.gov is also a great resource if you are looking for a specific vaccine here in our community or in the surrounding communities. For those that have registered, you can find out what pharmacies are carrying what their hours are if you need an appointment or a walk-in service. So, and as a reminder, my immunization team will be at open enrollment next week. So anybody who's attending those can also, in 2 weeks, can also get their vaccines at that time. So, any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dusty Nichols again. I just wanted to put out there, at least as early as possible, Halloween night, we are taking part with 6 other county departments, Topeka PD and some others, with the trunk or treat, which will just be right over here at Effigy. It's from 6 to 8. So put that on your calendars and bring out kids and get some candy. Thanks.
Very good. Thank you. Anyone else? Madam Clerk.
First of all, I wanted to let Teresa know I will not be at that thing on Saturday because I'm not pregnant. The other thing is, I know that was a big concern of everybody. They were all worried. Anyway, I just, my office has, of course, we're undergoing the construction over there, and my office has had new windows put in this week. It's been very trying, but I just have to give Nelda and her staff, they're wonderful. We call them and they're practically, I think they're outside the door because they're there. The Sunny group, the Sowers people, the high-tech people, the McElroy's people, they're all, at some point or the other, they're coming through, it's really a very hard transit to do this while we're there. But they're all doing a wonderful job, and I can't say enough about them. And they, we get called out up and pull her in the room and go, okay, this is my complaint, and she just listens and she walks away and she just takes it with her. But I just want to let you know, everybody know we're doing good, and but you have some really good people over at the courthouse, managing that courthouse.
It's always difficult to paint a moving bus, so we have to keep the courthouse
But they're doing
rolling.
good. They're really doing good.
It's always good to have recognition
Yeah,
for people doing a good
appreciate
job
that.
also, so.
All right. Anyone else?
I just wanted to mention, I don't know if anybody noticed, but we now have amplified microphones in the chambers, and so I hope that that's helping everybody hear us. We noticed during our R&R hearing that people were having a hard time hearing us with that many people in the room, and so after the meeting, I decided to talk to Stephanie, and she took care of it. So thanks to Stephanie for making sure that happened.
Mr. Cook?
No.
I wanted to mention a couple things. We will be having a work session on Monday. We have the sheriff's office in here talking about a variety of topics. And then on October 16th, we will have Angela Lewis will be in talking about benefits. So that'll be the next 2 weeks on Monday. I don't often put plugs in for different things, but as you know, I'm a history geek. And I stopped by the library the other day, and in the Sabatini Gallery, they have an exhibit on it's Native American lands in Kansas, and in particular Shawnee County. And it's if if you're a history geek like me, it's a great stop to read and look at all the old maps and everything that they have there, so, and a lot of good art, so, anyway, thought I'd throw that plug in. I have nothing else. We do not have a need for an executive session, so we are adjourned. Thank you.